Okay, hi everybody. So my name is Melissa Street. I am a senior vice president with ACN, and you're going to hear more from me in a moment, but I am your host here today, and we're just so grateful that you're on our quick start training. Some of you guys, you just got started in the teams. This is your very first training, so welcome to the team. You're at the right place. We're going to get right into customer acquisition training and building a team concept and the mindset behind building this business. I also know that there's a few of you that maybe saw a presentation over the last couple days and you wanted to see a little bit more. And so your friend invited you on to tonight's session to really evaluate ACN if it's a good fit for you. So you are also at the right place at the right time. So let me just give you guys a quick little rundown of what to expect tonight. The first thing we're going to do is just a quick overview of the business opportunity presentation. We're firm believers that repetition is the mother of all learning. And then we're going to dive right into training. And so I'm super excited. ACN is in massive momentum right now with all of our vendors, our service partners. There's a lot of exciting opportunity through ACN. And we have an update as well with a future service. And we actually don't get to have this gentleman on our training calls often because he has built a very successful organization, multiple successful teams within ACN. He's the number one senior vice president in ACN for the last 16 plus years in a row. Very busy man, but very generous man with his time as well. So we're super grateful for him to be here with us. And I can't think of anybody else to hear this information than from my good friend, Mr. Patrick Mazer. Thanks for being on here, Patrick.
Absolutely. Great to be on. Great to see everybody. And first of which, looking forward to sharing with you guys what we're up to here tonight. For those of you that are brand new, welcome to the team. I'm celebrating over 24 years within this opportunity. And that's a very rare statement for anybody to spend 2.5 decades doing anything. And it really speaks volumes about the opportunity you're going to look at here this evening. When you take a look at what this company's done over the last 33 years, it's been absolutely remarkable. And a lot of the reasons why we've had so much success is because of the individual that introduced me here tonight. For those of you that work with Melissa Street, she's a senior vice president. She's an incredible leader. She's got a ferocious work ethic. She is very, very prideful in what she's doing. And more importantly, she has created a culture of success. And that's why so many people are winning in their organization. So I just want to acknowledge her for that and the leadership she brings. If we could, let's give her a virtual round of applause, our very own Senior Vice President, Melissa Street, everyone. And over the next handful of minutes, I'm going to introduce to you ACN. For those of you that have been with us for quite some time, one thing you're going to see within ACN, finished never is. This company's been around for well over 33 years. Over that period of time, they've caught in some of the biggest trends in the United States when it comes to services. What makes ACN so unique is that we do what most companies aren't doing, and that's selling things that people cannot live without. Now, look, I think we all would agree in today's economy, don't know what paper you're reading or what economist you're following, but how many of us agree there's a lot of people in our country right now that unfortunately are looking for ways to save money based on the world that we're in right now? And we have a way to be able to put money back into customers' pockets. And that's a huge conversation in a relatively difficult economy. Number two is we found ways to make people money in a very challenged economy because what we market, people cannot live without. Now, just to give you a little backstory, I think before we literally do business with anybody, we want to know a little more about them. And so ACN, you're going to see they've not only had success all over North America, but they've been able to help businesses acquire customers in the millions. And matter of fact, they've done billions and billions of dollars in revenue as a company. So well established, 33-year track record. Over that period of time, they've partnered up with some of the biggest companies you and I know by name. And more importantly, some of the biggest industries that you and I know. How many of us agree the wireless industry is here to stay? Every single American has a device in their hand. Every single one of those individuals and businesses, we get an opportunity to do business with, whether it be high-speed internet. Unfortunately, the cost of energy is going to continue to go up around the U.S. We have a way of locking people's rates in, and that conversation is going to be very, very big over the next 12 months. And you're going to see that firsthand where the American public is going to look for ways to protect their bill when it comes to the increase of the price of energy around North America. Healthcare disruption. For anybody that spent any time with the street team, you know they are out there champion impact health. We've got thousands and thousands of testimonials of people saving thousands of dollars a year on their major medical. And I'm one of them personally. I was with Blue Cross. I paid $2,700 a month for my family of four. Made the move 3 years ago to Impact Health and went to $628. So I've saved over $70,000 on my major medical in the last 36 months. And that's not unnormal with Impact. We're finding that to be pretty typical for self-employed business owners that have to buy their own major medical. Home security, we work with a company called Vivint. Credit card processing, we work with a major company called MMI. You'll hear more about those in training. Identity theft protection, obviously something that nobody thought about 10 years ago. Today, I couldn't imagine not having somebody protecting our information. We've got one of the biggest ones in the space of cybersecurity. And then I'm going to talk about the future. We are about to launch into the online banking space. And for those of you that maybe fall in the same category as I did, never really understood what online banking was. All that basically means is they're using a cloud-based approach to banking. So instead of the brick and mortar banks that most of us grew up knowing quite well, they're going cloud-based banking. And what's happening in this space is that it is growing at a breakneck speed. And there's some leaders in this space already, meaning businesses and banks that got started in some cases less than 9 years ago. One specifically that I'll show you is a company called Chime. And for those of you that know Chime, Chime is paying people to become a customer. But look at what they're doing. No monthly fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance, no foreign exchange, no transfer fees. Now, everybody under the age of 30, this is what they use. Meaning, if they are under the age of 30, they will not walk into a brick and mortar bank. Another one that you can look at is one called SoFi. SoFi is a $23 billion bank that didn't exist 9 years ago. Look at what they're able to do. Give you 3.6% on your money. How many of us here wouldn't mind having that? Or 4.3% on your money. If you look at what these guys are doing, up to 2-day early paycheck, up to 3 million additional FDIC insurance, no overdraft fees, no accounting fees. There's going to be things that are going to come out that you and I are going to be blown away. ACN is launching that in the middle of next year of 2026. Imagine getting paid when people swipe a credit card. Imagine getting paid when people have money in their account. How many of us here would have made that natural transition if somebody sat down and pointed it out to you? See, what ACN is great at doing is unleashing an army of independent reps that are greatly positioned to educate the American public. Now, just to give you a little backstory, if you see what these companies have done, 10 years ago they didn't exist. Today they're $23 billion companies. How many of us would have loved to have been a part of that run? Now, none of us were the early adopters, right? Not any of us on here today were the first ones that go, let me go to the cloud when it came to banking. But here's what they're finding. It's the fastest growing industry. Now, think about getting paid. How many of you would agree when you swipe that credit card, there's money being made? How many of you agree when there's money sitting in an account, there's money being made? When loans are being made, there is 100 different ways they can go in this particular opportunity. So what do they need? They need customers. And what are we great at doing? Bringing customers. It will be the first time in history a direct sales company is letting their independent reps get paid on this. Now, how many of us agree that's pretty easy to understand? Yes or no? How many times did you pull this out today? How many times did you swipe this today? And if I could show you a way to pay less than you're paying, to be able to do things that maybe you're not able to do in banking today, how many of us love to be the ones to re-educate the country? Now, if you look at Asia and Europe and Latin America, they're already doing it, meaning this is the way they do business in those countries. Imagine what we're going to do here in the United States. Now, how many of us agree timing has a lot to do with success? I watched people get involved in ACN in 1993, and they got straight out wealthy because they were part of the deregulation of the phone. I know some of you probably don't remember this, you're a little young for that, but there used to be a time that you had one phone company, right? You had to dial one to make a long distance call. And I'm sure some of you remember your mom picking up the phone and saying, "Is that long distance? Hang up," right? We don't got that kind of money. Now, today we know that's not the case, but the point was people that jumped into ACN back then rode a tsunami of a wave. And then we got involved in the digital phone service and video phone well before Apple ever had a product, well before anybody could see anybody. And we rode that wave to hundreds of millions of dollars. And then we got involved in energy. Unfortunately, energy is only in 19 states, so it wasn't something that gave mass appeal to the country. How many of us agree banking is a whole nother animal? It doesn't matter if you live from Hawaii to Puerto Rico, every single person becomes a customer. Now, if you take a look at what they're saying, now look at just some of their advertisements and just the simplicity of what they're saying. Open a Chime checking account in about how many minutes? Now, let that sink in a second. How many of us would agree by us recruiting a big team, giving them the ability to open a bank account, giving them the ability to use a credit card? How many of you see how big this can be for some of you on here tonight? Now, look, any great opportunity, can we agree, requires us to be first in the space or be one of the first people ever to have this kind of conversation before. Now, why would somebody want to do business with ACN? Because ACN does what every business in America needs: customers. And we can bring those customers in at no cost whatsoever and create an opportunity for ourselves to get paid. Now, what ACN does is allow us to make money the same way the electric company makes money, the internet company makes money, the cell phone company makes money, and now the bank makes money. They build us a website, they do the training, they do the tracking, they do the customer care. All we're going to do is direct people to our website and show them how they can get paid off of these services. Now, here's what's unique about our business model. We get paid when the customers come in. I had 8 services in my own house. Does that sound like anybody you know? I was able to sell to myself within the first 30 days and be in profit as a business owner. Now, how many of us here would agree if you could get paid on something you're already using? Doesn't it just make common sense to make money on what you and I are getting going to use anyway? And so I was able to be in profit on 8 services. What's a service? A service is a bill. And the next trainer is going to talk about those services and how tonight you can leave this meeting already in the black in your new business. How many of us love that? Imagine calling a friend up and saying, "I've been in profit in my first 30 days of business." That does not even happen in business in America today. But let's talk about residual. How many of you would love to get paid a percentage of every credit card swipe? How would you like to get paid a percentage of every loan or every time somebody has a balance on their credit card and they have interest on their credit card? Every single one of those are commissionable to people like you and me. Imagine you getting paid a percentage every single month for as long as they use the service. Now, here's what I know. 25 years ago, I signed people up on services. 25 years later, I'm still getting paid on those customers. Good economy, bad economy, does not matter. But the person that makes the big money in what we do builds distribution. And you and I have that opportunity here tonight to be able to put together a team of people all over the United States, allow them to go out and market the service, and they get paid, and so do you, where you can make 4% every single month on a customer that somebody goes out and acquires. Now, let that sink in a minute. Let's say you brought me here tonight and I signed up my cell phone, my internet, my electric, my home security, my identity theft, and soon my banking. And every time I use those services, I got paid, but so do you. How many of us here would be pretty excited if you got paid on hundreds and hundreds of people all over the United States using these services and getting paid themselves and you getting paid as well? Now, what I love most about this is the team atmosphere. And you're going to get that feeling tonight where nobody's in this thing by themselves. We're going to show you how to make money today, how to position your family to make money decade after decade, year after year, based on things that people can't live without. And what I love most about this is you can get paid upfront to build a team. What does that mean? That means when you first get started, you go get a couple customers, you're what's called a CQ. You help a couple other people get customers, and now you become an ETL. Every time somebody signs up in your team and they go get a couple customers, you're able to make anywhere from 50 all the way to $450 on every person that comes in that gets a couple customers. Now think about that for 1 minute. You're making money today. You're creating a long-term residual for your family. You're able to continue to get paid. And the tsunami is going to be when you and I have the opportunity to get paid like a bank. Now, I don't care who you are, what your background is, what your educational level is. How many of us would agree everybody understands using a credit card? You can't even get out of the parking lot at DFW Airport unless you have a credit card. They don't even take cash anymore. How many of you see how big this opportunity is going to be, but it's going to require training? For those of you that are in the DFW area, we're doing a special training specifically on what I'm talking about tonight. Now, if you sit down and take a couple minutes and learn what we're doing, I promise you will mess your sleeping patterns up because of how big this is going to be. This is going to be the biggest thing in the history of the direct sales industry. There's never been a bigger industry than the banking industry to get paid on in the entire direct sales industry. And no matter what happens in the world we live in today, how many of us agree no one's going without a credit card? No one's going without an ATM card. No one's going without a bank. And you and I have the ability for the first time in the history of direct sales to get paid when people use a bank. Now, look, you can tell I'm pretty excited about what's happening here today. And for those of you that are executive team leaders or those of you that hit the position of CQ, we're doing a special Friday night leadership that we're going to be talking about positioning people for this big opportunity that we're talking about today. And so mark it in your calendar, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Every single person that can jump on that call or be in that room when we go into some greater detail on this, I promise you, you're going to leave there the way I did. I sat in that meeting when they talked about what I'm talking about today. I didn't even know this stuff existed. Then I go talk to my friend who's 19 years old, and he said, everybody knows that. Everybody. How many of you have any kids in your life? Right? They're the ones looking at you going, what do you mean you never heard of Snapchat? Everybody knows Snapchat, right? So the reality is that this tsunami is coming in front of us, but it needs one thing. It needs customers. And we have the ability to do what nobody else can do in this country, and that is bring eyeballs on to a better option for most Americans. How many of us love that by concept? And look, training's going to come right along with it. We're going to teach you what to do. We're going to show you how to do it. Nobody's going to be in this thing by themselves. And just to give you an example of the level of training and support, we've got another senior vice president on here tonight. And I've watched him, build teams from one side of the country to the other. He's focused like never before. He's got some inside information on what we're talking about right now. And you can see the big smile on his face. If we could, let's put our hands together for our very own senior vice president, Mr. Jeff Street. Jeff, the call's all yours, my friend.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much. What an honor it is for us to have you on our team's Tuesday night training call this week. Guys, let's give Patrick a big round of applause. And Patrick was sharing some statistics with me yesterday that literally blew my mind. In Asia, 40% of consumers have already made the shift from traditional brick and mortar banking to this fintech space. In Europe, 37%. Here in the United States, less than 10%. How many of us agree timing is everything in business? When you take a look at what's going on with healthcare, I think we have Heidi Wickett on the call today. She told me that last night a friend of hers got her health insurance premium increase in the mail. It went from $600 a month to $2,750 a month. $2,150, she was able to sign them up for under $500, saving them $2,200 a month. With what's happening with healthcare and what we're hearing about now from Patrick with FinTech, how much are excited to go out and build something here? And so I'm going to get a chance to just share my screen. And I want to talk to you. My part of tonight's training is about customer acquisition. And I want to help you start making money today. See, as these industries start to explode over the next handful of months, just realize that you don't make any money unless customers are acquired. So your first goal, if you're taking notes, is 2 services and 5 points. Now, in tonight's training, you're going to understand what a service is and you're going to understand what a point is. But if you're taking notes, 2 services and 5 points. Now, why do we do that? Number one is we want to help you earn your first promotion of customer qualified. It's going to position you to earn residual income and overriding residual income, and also graduate you to that Friday night leadership class that Patrick talked about, where this Friday, whether you're in person with us in DFW or part of our online community, we're going to peel the layers back even further on what's happening with FinTech and really strategize on this pre-launch. For those of you that are in Dallas, Fort Worth, or in the Houston area, the owner of ACN, Robert Stefanowski, is literally moving to Texas in January, and he's going to be at our live local events. And we're going to be pre-launching FinTech initially in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston, and then nationwide within a few weeks afterwards. So it's exciting, exciting times for our company. But until you have 2 services and 5 points, you can't make any money at all in ACN. So 2 services, 5 points, that's important. Now, don't stop there. Every month you can earn bonuses as you acquire more customers and sign up more services. So this month they have a promotion. If you're new, if you're in your first 30 days, you get a $300 bonus for acquiring your first 5 services and 10 points. I see Roy Anthony on the call. He just did that today, got his $300 bonus. Congratulations, buddy. And then you make an additional $200 for every 3 services and 6 points afterwards, and there's no limit. Now, when you first get started, your website, your online store, I would take a screenshot of this page. Your website is going to be your ID number .acnibo.com. So that's Melissa's ID number. So you don't go to that website unless you want Melissa to get the credit for it. So put your ID number .acnibo.com, and it's going to take you to a portal that looks just like this. Now, once you get to your portal, there's 2 different turns that you can take. The first turn is services, where it says services. If you click on shop here, that's going to take you to your online storefront where customers can shop for residential and business services. So take a picture of this screen. Again, when you go to your website, you can either hit services, that'll take you where you can shop. Or if you want to go into the training side, you can go to your back office training. You can click on log in, and there's trainings on every service we offer. There's compensation plan training. There's leadership training. There's so much that's available in your back office. So just know the difference between shopping on your storefront and logging into your back office for training and also your reports. Now, when you look at compensation plan in your back office, it's going to give you all the point values of all the services. Just take a screenshot of this. I'm going to highlight our top 6 services tonight, but just understand this: the more points you acquire, the more money that you make. But remember, in the beginning, goal number 1 is 2 services and 5 points. Now, I believe that facts tell, but stories sell. Who'd agree with that? See, as you're building your ACN business, people are going to ask you questions like, have you made any money yet? And our goal is for you as soon as possible to say, absolutely. I know we got Pedro Laria here. He had a $500 bonus today. Lori Bauman, $500 bonus today. Congratulations. So, the first step, like I mentioned, you get your 5 services, you make a $300 bonus. But also, if you build a team, and between you and your team, if in your first 30 days you just get 30 customer points between you and your team, as long as at least 15 of those points come from your downline, you make an additional $500 bonus for a total of $800 in your first 30 days. Now, listen, $800 might not sound like a lot of money to you, or maybe it does, but here's what I can tell you. When somebody says, how's that thing going? And you can say, hey, I made an $800 bonus in my first 30 days. Now, some of the people that don't join you in the beginning are going to say, maybe I'm a little bit interested. See, how many should agree there's leaders and there's followers in this world? The leaders that they're going to get started with you right away, but some people are going to play the let me see how you do game. Does that make sense? And so our goal, let's help you hit this bonus in your first 30 days so you can have that testimonial. It encourages other people to take action. Plus, it's going to give you the proof that this business works for you. Look, I made $1,000 bonus my first 30 days in ACN. That was the most important $1,000 I've ever made in my life because it showed me that this business works. So let's go out and help you set a goal to do this in your first 30 days. Now, I'm going to talk to you in my part of the training on going out and getting those couple services. The next trainer is going to talk to you about building your team. Now, the first service we're going to talk about is Vivint Smart Home Security. I like Vivint because it's an 8-point service. Now, remember, 30 points between you and your team, that's a $500 bonus as long as there's at least 15 downline points. You know, we got Greg on the call. I know Greg, Melissa told me you're getting your Vivint set up tomorrow. That's 8 customer points. Awesome. So you guys can see with 8-point services, you're going to see 10-point services. 30 points can happen quickly. So Vivint's 8 points, the average customer stays on the service for 10 plus years. So a one-time connection turns into a 10-year residual income on average. Now, one of the things I love about Vivint is you don't need to be an expert about Vivint. All you need to do is be able to connect one of our reps with your potential client so they can get your client a quote. You just need to be a connector. How many of us can be connectors? Great. Now you can go one of two different ways. There's an 877 number. If you screenshot this, this is the general ACN customer sales line. You can call this number with the customer. You can have the customer call the number, give them your ID number, and a trained rep from Vivint will give them a customized quote. We have a rep that we use primarily in our team. His name is Lucas Ostadio. Those of you that were in Columbus with us at the national convention, you probably met Lucas at the Vivint booth. He's phenomenal. So there's Lucas's personal text number. So you can literally group text a customer with Lucas, tell Lucas what time they're available, and he'll call them on your behalf. Now, I would encourage you guys, have the mindset of being a product of the product. I would encourage every one of you guys, if nothing else, get yourself a free quote for Vivint. If nothing else, you can see what the process is like for a customer and you can make that connection with Lucas. So you can even send him a text tonight and just say, hey, Lucas, my name is Bob. I'm on the ACN Rockstar training call. I would like a quote for Vivint. My ID number is blah, blah, blah. I'm available for a quote tonight at 8 o'clock. You know, so just, I would encourage you, have his number in your phone and get a quote yourself. They've got a great promotion right now with Vivint. This is awesome. With Vivint, all of our customers get free installation, free activation. That's a promo that ACN and Vivint have created with our relationship. They have another promotion right now where if a customer buys a camera, they get a indoor camera for free. The customer gets a $100 gift card. And you as the IBO, you get a $200 gift card for every Vivint customer that you're signing up right now. Now, if you're the IBO and the customer, you get both gift cards. You get the $300 in gift cards plus the free camera. Now, Vivint is awesome. Their camera systems are state of the art. It's like Ring, Arlo cameras, Nest, like ADT, everything all combined into one. I love Vivint. But go ahead and get yourself a quote. Now, remember, Vivint is worth 8 points, and your goal number 1 is 2 services and 5 points. Now, next service we'll spend a minute on is Zoom Energy. You heard Patrick talk about energy consumption is going through the roof right now. With data centers right now and AI, there is more of a demand than ever before for electricity. Experts are anticipating a 265% price increase when it comes to electricity over the next 5 years. Now, electricity is worth 2 points. Natural gas is 1 point. Energy prices, again, are skyrocketing. We can lock in a customer on a fixed rate for a long term and price protect the customer. They've got a great incentive with the energy business. If you refer 12 customers, you qualify for the Power Your Home program, where you can get your electricity or your natural gas for up to free every month. So let me say that again. If you get 12 electric customers, you earn the average of the 12, what the 12 customers are spending every month as an additional commission on top of your bonuses, on top of your residuals. And the same thing with natural gas. So you can get your gas and or electric up to free. For anybody that has a cancellation fee with their current provider, Zoom will actually pay their cancellation fee up to $150. If you live in Texas, your customer gets a $50 bill credit on their third month, which is amazing. And they have a promotion right now that this month, every four energy bills that you sign up, you make an additional $300 bonus on top of, in addition to the normal bonuses. I'm not sure if Brian Kraft and the Ohio team are on with us tonight, but between Brian and his wife, they've made over $18,000 in energy bonuses over the last 6 months, just helping people in Ohio lock in their gas and electricity. So big opportunity with the energy business. Now, ID Seal. Right now, cybercrime, data breaches, these are going through the roof right now. ID Seal is a phenomenal product. It's like LifeLock, Norton Antivirus, and Credit Karma all wrapped up into one. And they just added an exciting addition to ID Seal. It's called Title Lock. How many of you guys have heard that? I know we've got lenders on the call tonight, like Monty and Sherry and Greg. And, how many of you guys know that right now people are literally having their deeds stolen when it comes to cybercrime? Title breaches, this is a big thing right now. So with ID Seal, we also protect their homeowner, we protect their title. This is an amazing product. It's 20% less than LifeLock, and it does more. It includes a VPN. For one adult, if they want to get an annual plan where they get a 20% discount, it's $289 for the year, and you get 10 points for that customer. If somebody just wants to try it for a month, it's $28.99 and it's 2 points. And this is the one service I would encourage every one of you guys as a rep that if nothing else, try it for a month. It'll give you a free kind of like audit of your personal financial situation. See if there's anything you need to know that's going on when it comes to your credit, when it comes to any attempts to hack your information. Really, really amazing product. And anybody can try it for 1 month just for free. I tell customers that are inquisitive about their identity, hey, look, sign up for this for a month, give it a try, give me your feedback. If you like it, we can upgrade you to the annual plan. For me, when I signed up, I got the annual right away because I wanted the 10 points. We also have a 2 adult plan with ID Seal. It's basically buy one, get the second one half off. $439 a month for the 2 adult family plan. You get 12 points for that. And somebody can try that for a month as well. You get 3 points. Now with ID Seal, if you have the service and refer it to 5 people, your service is free every single month, which is phenomenal. Now, TrueV Lifestyles, how many of us like to travel? Look, this is our fun service. If you know Melissa and I, we are work hard, play hard people. Like we are presently planning a trip to Greece and Italy for next year. Like we love to travel. And if you love to travel, this is a very different service than any of our other services, but it's awesome. It's a travel and lifestyle membership service for individuals, individual benefits to its members, including non-public discounted rates, travel, airport lounge access. When we were in Columbus last weekend, we were sitting at the airport lounge in Columbus, eating free food before our flight, hanging out in the lounge, as opposed to hanging out at the gate. Incredible offers that offer price promise savings. I know Danny Baltsalkin's on the call here today. Danny told me he saved a bunch of money when booking a trip through TrueV. For Melissa and I, we saved over $3,000 last year when it came to hotel stays with TrueV. Now, look, we travel more than the common person. We didn't go away twice and save $3,000, but last year we saved $3,000 in hotel stays. This is a phenomenal product, and it's a fun product for people that like to travel. Now, they've got 2 packages, gold and platinum. With the gold plan, somebody can get the annual plan. It's 5 points. Or they can try the monthly plan. They can just demo it out, look at travel discounts. It's 2 points. Somebody can get the platinum plan, which includes a personal travel agent. It also includes the unlimited airport lounge. That's 8 points for a year, or 5 points if somebody wants to try that for a month. And again, really, really cool service. And with this service, if you acquire 7 TrueV accounts, yours is free. So you can see with many of the ACN services, just by getting customers, you can get yours for free. Now, Flash Mobile, this is a product where we private label, we white label the T-Mobile network. If somebody has AT&T or Verizon, on average, we're saving them 20 to 42%. If somebody has T-Mobile, we can switch them over as well. Now, it's 4 points for the first line and 2 points for every line afterwards. And remember, goal number 1, two services, and 5 points. Now, here's just some of the most popular plans with Flash. There's a bunch of them, but you can see 4 lines, unlimited talk, text, and data is $105 a month. Somebody can keep their same phone, they can keep their same phone number. There's no activation fees. You get your 6th month of service for free, which is awesome. Pay for the first service for 5 months, your 6th month is free. In November, they have another promo. Somebody can get a 2 line family plan, $80 unlimited talk, text, and data for 2 lines. And with cell phone service, just like some of the others, if you have the service, refer it to 5 people, your bill becomes free each and every month. Melissa and I have had free cell phone service for 10 and a half years straight now. It's out of style to pay a cell phone bill in 2026. Now, last service, Impact Tel Sharing, it's all over the news right now. Millions of Americans are having substantial shocking sticker price increases when it comes to their healthcare costs. Look, with Impact, plans start as low as $73 a month. We did a Zoom meeting for a bunch of chiropractors last night for the Texas Chiropractic Association, and they had their graduate students from Parker University that were about to graduate on the call. These are 24, 25, 26 year olds that were literally looking at $800 or $1,000 a month for health insurance. Healthy people, they can get it as low as $73 a month for Impact. $378 a month is what the rates start at for families of 3+, and $96 a month is what it starts at for seniors that are 65 years old. Now, with Impact, it's 2 points to 6 points, depending on the plan. I'm only just giving you a couple of things on this right now, but this is a massive opportunity for us. This is a massive opportunity for us right now, especially in the next few months with open enrollment. If you haven't seen the 22-minute video yet that just really explains how Impact works, if you text the word Impact to that phone number, it will send you the video. I literally have people signing up as my Impact customer just after watching the video. It explains everything. We do a webinar every Tuesday as well. We had 200 people on the webinar today. Anybody can invite people onto that. And we have a Facebook group with over 5,000 members in the Impact Facebook group. You can scan that QR code. There's really amazing, powerful testimonials on that. We are saving people. This says 30 to 50%. Right now, it's 50 to 70% or more. Like, I've never seen anything like this with the savings people are having when it comes to healthcare. This is a game changer for so many people. Now, look, as I start to wrap my topic up, where do customers come from? Number one is you. You are the first source when it comes to getting a customer. You want to be a product of the product. The second source, the next trainer is going to talk to you about how to build a team, who to talk to, what to say. And as you invite people onto the presentation, not everybody's going to become a rep. For me, I've signed up hundreds of customers over the last 20 years. People are like, where do your customers come from? Most of them have come from people that attended a presentation and said, Jeff, it's not for me, but sure, I'll help you out and be a customer. If you can meet or beat my rate, I'll try a service. So I got a ton of customers just from people that attended meetings that decided not to be a rep. And then everybody else. Right now, I'm having people message me every single day, multiple times a day on Facebook, literally asking me to give them a healthcare quote because it's wild out there right now when it comes to health insurance. So look, the most important customer is yourself. Think like a business owner. Prior to ACN, I used to own a bunch of cell phone stores. I still keep a Nextel phone on my desk. And people always are like, who was your first customer when you opened up your store? Well, really simple. It was me. I wanted to be a product of the product. When a customer walked in the store and said, how does it work? I want to be, let me show you how it works, because I already understood. I had the confidence. Now, I already was a cell phone customer of another company, but I opened up a cell phone store, spent tens of thousands of dollars to do it. Naturally, I got a second cell phone just because I wanted to be able to be a product of the product. I think that sometimes the best thing about ACN is it's only $299 to get started. So anybody can do it. But I think sometimes the worst thing about ACN is it's only $299 to get started. So anybody can do it. And so not everybody has that business owner mentality. You got to think like a business owner. If you had a Jaguar dealership, how many of us would drive a Jaguar instead of a BMW? If you own a Domino's pizza restaurant and you had a party, how many of us would order from Domino's and not Papa John's, right? So be a customer, create the belief in the services yourself. When I became an identity theft protection customer, I told my mom, try this service. I had a great experience with it. Said, Mom, you got to try this. My mom calls me up a year later. She said, you'll never guess what happened. I go, what, Mom? She goes, ID Seal sent me a text message asking if I had filed for unemployment. My mom wrote back, no. They called her immediately, and literally, ID Seal protected my mom from being a major victim of an identity theft breach. My mom was retired, and somebody was filing for unemployment in her name. So you'll learn the sign up process, it'll create confidence, plus, you'll earn 20% back on your own bills. Now, I went really quickly through these services. We do a product training workshop twice a week where Melissa really dives into all these services a lot more thoroughly, goes over the comp plan, teaches you how to use your website. Write these dates down. It's Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central and Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central. So Wednesday, 12 o'clock Central in the afternoon, Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central, and you can get on that as many times as you want and just get the confidence in the services. But remember, two services and 5 points. You can't make any money at all in ACN until you have your two services and 5 points. So pick two and go CQ. That's your first goal. Even if you have 1,000 reps on your team, if you don't have two services and 5 points, you can't make any money. And we want to get you in a position to start making money today. Now, those two services can come from you. They can come from anyone. You just got to sign up two services. Now, many of you already are like, oh, this is easy. I'm going to do my own impact and I'm going to sign up for Vivint. Some of you are like, hey, I'm signing up for Impact and I'm signing my mom up for Impact. Some of you are like, hey, I'm doing the cell phone service and I'm doing the travel plan. Great. Any two services that add up to at least 5 points will get you CQ. Many of you probably already have an idea, probably already have a plan. But if you're somebody like, hey, I don't know what to do, I just want to get into building a team, show me what I can do fast to start making money. If you don't have a plan, here's can be a little plan. We call this the business builder package. Let's say you did option one, you did the annual ID seal for yourself. It's a tax deduction too. You protect your identity. Let's say you tried the travel for a month with the platinum plan. You invested $360 in your business. You got 15 points. You're in a position to start making money. You're already halfway to your $800 bonus. Now, let's say you're like, hey, okay, I want to just get a couple services. Jeff, my budget's a little tight right now, but just what can I do quickly? Let's say you do the monthly ID seal for you and another adult, and you try the travel plan for a month. You've invested 79 bucks. Your CQ, you have 5 points. There's a way you can do it quickly. Now, for the leaders on the call, if you could just put in the chat what your first two services were to go CQ, just so you can give everybody else kind of a little bit of an idea of what were some people doing to hit their first promotion. For me, I signed up for every service I could the first day because I wanted to be a product of the product and be able to get paid on my own bill and be able to have that experience to share with other people. Now, I'm going to get myself out of the way. Our last trainer here tonight, she's going to talk to you about how to build the team. This is my better half. She's a master team builder, master trainer, and that's Senior Vice President Melissa Street, everybody.
Thank you so much, and phenomenal job to both you and Patrick, and thanks guys for all the leaders that are just blowing up the chat right now, just showing how simple it is to get your very first promotion. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It could be as simple as the examples Jeff shared, and also maybe some additional services that you were already interested in transferring over. So we got your back. We'll help you with that. We'll make sure we debrief with you with some next steps on customer qualification. But, all this talk with everything Jeff just shared and what Patrick shared of what's to come, I'm so excited about what's to come. But as we're thinking about what's to come, I want us to really sit in this moment right now and ask ourselves, how big of a team do we want when FinTech launches? When all these additional services launch. See, my mindset 13 years ago wasn't that big. I'm gonna just tell you my background right now. I was 22 years old when I was introduced to ACN. I had never done anything like this before, and this was a new venture for me. It was completely outside of my comfort zone. I was used to selling home and auto insurance. That was my comfort zone. I knew how to do that well. Coming into ACN, this was all brand new. But I just love that there was already a step-by-step instruction guide of really how to get going. And so my topic here tonight is really how to get you going on building a team, how to get that leveraged income for yourself going. And it's really simple. Let's talk about it. See, the first thing we do is we schedule a meeting. So think of it as like a grand opening. I know we have a lot of traditional business owners on here. If any of you ever owned a restaurant or a retail store, you probably had a grand opening, right? And it didn't matter if your friend was going to like your food or not. You were inviting everybody because you wanted people to know that you're in business. So, in that same sense, we want to help you schedule your first ACN launch meeting so people know you're in business. And if I can give you a tip here, line number one, it says pick a time that works for you, because you're never going to find a day that's perfect for everybody. If you want to be efficient, how many of us want to be efficient when we're building this business, right? You're all busy business owners as is. So if you want to be efficient, already have a date and time set up prior to you inviting people so you have a go-to place for them. Now, I do want to mention to you guys every day, Monday through Friday, Jeff and we host a live Zoom presentation that's open to everybody. So that is a fixed daily meeting Monday through Friday. The meeting ID number is right there on the screen, 880-606-7820. You're welcome to invite people onto this Zoom call. But initially, being brand new, we want to encourage you to have your own first launch meeting before you participate in these daily events, just so we can primarily focus on helping you with your grand opening. Now, you pick the date. Let's help you talk about let's talk about who do we invite? Like who's the target audience that we should talk to? So I want to encourage you to make a list of everybody. Like you just never know who's looking for an opportunity right now. So make a list of everybody. And if there's an instruction on kind of a group of people to start your list with, I want to encourage you to start with business owners, self-employed, and real estate professionals. Who do you know that's a business owner currently or used to be one in the past? Maybe they're self-employed, 1099 contractors, and real estate professionals, and whether they're an agent or a mortgage lender or title representative. And one of the reasons why we emphasize on this group of people so much is because there is a different perspective when they're looking at ACN compared to maybe the employee background. Now, there's nothing wrong with employee background. I was employee background, but it was so eye-opening when I met business owners and they come into ACN and they're like, oh, $299 one-time startup cost? That's amazing. Like, that was my 1 hour session to meet with my attorney to come up with the name of my company. Business owners, when they look at ACN, they're like, no employees, no workers' comp, no liabilities, no headache of running a traditional business. This is like business owner fantasy land. That makes sense. That's logical, right? But the other part of business owners and 1099 contractors, why they look at ACN is because in this healthcare space, for example, business owners, if you have employees, the likelihood is you probably pay for some, if not all, of your healthcare plan for your staff. And you're getting hit with this high rising cost for 2026. And you got to make some tough choices probably on whether you're going to continue to provide healthcare for them or not. Well, what if we can show the business owner not only can they save money on their healthcare costs for their employees, but they can actually make a percentage back on paying that bill. It's a win-win situation. When I think about business owners, this was really where my business excelled when I tapped into this specific network. And I want to actually highlight a couple individuals just so you can hear the different walks of life involved with ACN. The first, I'm going to have her share. She's out of the New England marketplace. She's a regional director with us today. And Missy Potter, if you don't mind, just share with us your background, how long you've been with ACN, and how many customers you have today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Melissa. Yeah, so my background is I own a bookkeeping and business consulting firm, and I've done that for the past 18, almost 19 years. Saw ACN 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And for all the reasons Melissa just said, as a business owner, it was a no-brainer for me. The cost alone, and then just seeing the services, and I was able to instantly take that out to my clients, other business owners and associates, and family and friends. So out of that, in the past 2 years, I've been able to build a team of 255 team members and have over 2,300, almost 2,400 customer points. So it has been wonderful and winning in every single way. And so thankful for this opportunity. Thank you, Melissa.
That's so amazing, you guys. How many of us have an accountant or a bookkeeper? Okay, write their name down. Have you invited them to come and take a look at the business opportunity? Or, let's make sure when we schedule your meeting that you do invite, because imagine if Missy was your accountant and your bookkeeper and you introduced her to ACN, and fast forward today, she's brought in 2,400 customers that you earn a percentage on. Would you be okay with that? Right? We all got a bookkeeper and accountant, right? Okay, another individual I want to introduce, he actually just got promoted to regional coordinator, so he probably didn't know I was going to pick on him. But just real quick, Brian, maybe like a 30-second spiel of like, what's your background and how many customers that you have today? And we'd love to hear from you. But brand new regional coordinator, Mr. Brian Force.
I appreciate it. I didn't know where you were going to pick on me, or I would have switched because my background, thank you, by the way, is in real estate. I've run a real estate business for a very long time. I've actually got one of my real estate coaches, because I run a coaching program, doing a coaching seminar on my laptop right now. And it's so funny because I was reintroduced to ACN not terribly long ago, really only at the beginning of the year. And it was something that I was introduced 2 years ago. And as we kind of highlighted earlier on the call, I was one of the ones that almost thought that the opportunity was too good to be true, and I wish Jeff had just grabbed me and talked and used that line, that it just makes sense. Because running a real estate business for as long as I have, I'm used to cutting a $50 to $80,000 check every month just to turn the lights on. And it took me forever to realize that, one, you could run a business like we're fortunate to run now, and be in the black as quickly as we have been with unlimited upside. As a professional real estate, as a real estate professional, I care very much about return on time and return on investment. And I wish that things had clicked for me so much sooner, that the ability to get a return on my time, a return on my investment, and the available market share in this business just makes sense. And I wish I had honestly got it a little bit sooner, but we've been really, really fortunate to build a pretty phenomenal team just over the last few months that we've been re-involved with ACN. I think we have a few hundred customers now, and a team that's growing, getting close to 40 team members now, which has been phenomenal. And it wouldn't be possible without the support of the Rockstar team. And that's really what I mean by the return on time. My ability to come in and have conversations with people in my world that I want to share this opportunity with, and whether or not they take the opportunity for themselves, or they become a customer, because we help refer people to services that every single person who is above the age of 18 on earth pretty much uses. It's been a phenomenal opportunity, and the support, the training, and the team that we have here is like none that I've ever been a part of. So we've been incredibly blessed to take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, and congrats again on your promotion. But real estate professional, real estate coach, property management, that's his background. How many of us know some people in real estate in some capacity? Write their name down. I see a regional vice president, Paul Mercier, is on here as well. His background, traditional business owner in the construction space, masonry. I see a regional director, Fred Sullivan, traditional business owner, also in the construction and landscaping space. So think about all these people that you probably spend money to, right? Like look at your credit card statement. Where do you spend money to? All these small local business owners that you frequently visit, and put them on the list, invite them, because fast forward today, I mean, I know for Paul Mercier, he has thousands of customers that him and his team has brought in. And what if Paul was the one that laid the concrete on your driveway? Because that's what Paul does for a background. The guy that laid the concrete on your driveway, you introduced to ACN, and in a matter of 2 years has brought in thousands of customers that pay a bill every month. So now make a list of everybody though, right? Don't leave any names off the list. Just make a list of as many people as possible, especially in today's economy. I think people are praying for opportunities more than ever before. And when you start inviting people, just a tip here, 50% of the people that say they're going to show up are actually going to show up. So you always want to over invite, over prepare, over invite, because it's just a numbers game. The reason why 50% show up is because life happens. Kid gets sick, or you get stuck at work, or, flat tires happen very often on the day of your meeting for some reason. But 50% of the people that say they're going to come are going to show up. So I just want to encourage you. I'm saying this so that it's not a fluff. I'm telling you in advance to just over invite. And hey, listen, if you invited 20 people to your meeting and all 20 people show up, is that a good problem? Yes, that's a very good problem, right? So the goal is just to have double digit invitations. So, what do you say when you're ready to invite people? Oh, I was so grateful for this specific slide here. Take a picture of this slide just so you know kind of the format of how to invite somebody. I don't necessarily want you to sound like me. I do not want you to sound like Jeff. I want you to sound like you. So make it conversational. Obviously, practice it before you start inviting people. But I want to encourage you to follow this format of, do you look at other ways of making money? Here's why I do. And let me tell you about who I met. Hey, do you look at other ways of making money? You do? Listen, you know me, I sell insurance for State Farm. I make a decent living for myself, but at the end of the day, I don't really have a backup plan. So I started looking. And I got to tell you, I'm really excited because I met an individual. He's having a ton of success right now. He's building the business that deals with essential services and new technology. I don't have all the details. So on whatever day your meeting is, on Thursday, for example, at 6 o'clock, we're going to host a short Zoom presentation or an in-person presentation, and we can learn all about it. Can I count on you to be there? So again, practice the script before you start inviting people, just so you can get the flow, the words out of you before you test it out on your friends or your invitations. And schedule your meeting as soon as possible, because you're going to kill two birds with one stone. What do I mean by that? When you have your launch meeting, number one, you're going to find people that say no to the business, but they'll say yes to being a customer. So you're more likely to get customers after somebody sees a presentation. And number two, the people that say, yes, this sounds like a great idea, I want to do this with you, they become your business partners, and they go out and get customers that you had nothing to do with, but you make an overriding residual income on. So as you introduce this business to people, just be a professional. What does that mean? Sort through people. Don't try to sell and convince. That's what amateurs do. And I'm pretty sure none of us want to be an amateur. None of us want to be taken as a joke, right? When we're looking at business opportunities. And so a professional removes the emotional factor behind a yes or a no. When you sort through people, you're going to recognize it's actually quite fun. You're listening for the person that says, yes, this is actually, I've been looking for an opportunity. I've been praying for an opportunity. Yes, tell me all about it. That's exciting. So just know you're going to run across some people that say no to an opportunity in this season of their life. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just timing. A no is not a no forever. It's just a no for now. My husband said no to ACN for 5 years. 5 years. He said no to ACN to Patrick for 5 years. Now, here's what's great. Patrick is a professional. He didn't try to make Jeff feel bad or convince him of why he needed to look in an opportunity. He just knew it wasn't the right timing. And when circumstances change, can we agree our mindset changes? When 5 years had passed, and at that point in Jeff's life, everything was falling apart. His business was losing money. He was not taking a paycheck from his own business for literally 6 months when Patrick reappeared into Jeff's life. And right then and there, the opportunity was the right time. So some will and some won't. That's what SW stands for. Some will and some won't. So what? Some wait. Move on. Next, because I promise you, the next person will say yes. Don't get stuck at the nose. When you get stuck at the nose, you're riding the emotional roller coaster. And I'm just going to be human with you right now. This is totally normal. I still ride the emotional roller coaster. It's just I can enjoy the process a little better now versus 13 years ago. So if you're riding the emotional roller coaster, it's totally normal. The best way to stay on the ride is to remember your why. That's how you stay even keel. You know, it's unavoidable. The emotional roller coaster is going to happen, but you remember your why. Why did you say yes to an opportunity at this point in your life? Why did you get involved with ACN? I understand it's probably about making more money. I get it. That's why I said yes to ACN. But why? Because quite frankly, if you just wanted to make some extra money right now, I'm not knocking on Uber or Grubhub or anything like that, but there's a lot of ways to make extra money right now. It's very easy to make extra money right now. It is. But it's got to be deeper than just making money so you can stay the course. Maybe it's saying yes to ACN because you have a spouse you want to retire. Maybe you have a parent that needs financial help. Maybe you have a nonprofit organization that you really want to support, has a big part of your heart and you want to support. And so you're willing to overcome the negativity and the no's because you have such a passionate why. See, ASEAN's the same for all of us. It doesn't matter that I have a fancy title called Senior Vice President. It's just the title. It just means that I've been in this a little bit longer than you and I've received a lot more no's than you. See, the company is the same for all of us. The only difference is ourselves. How do we invest in ourselves is by participating in events to build our character, to build our emotional withstanding, the armor, right, of building this business. And so plugging into events allows you to sharpen your axe, sharpen your tools, to get quicker off the emotional roller coaster, right? Being a part of our system allows you to just have grace that it's all just a learning curve. So the first step of our system is saying yes to the opportunity. Maybe after tonight, you're like, this makes sense. I'm ready to get started. Welcome to the team. It takes less than 5 minutes to get your ID number and get activated immediately. Then we want to get you on to our onboarding workshop. So make sure you get back to your leader on getting the code for that. We also want to help you schedule your launch meeting and host it so we can let people know you're in business. And then we have Friday night leadership. For those that are in the Dallas Fort Worth area, we host it in person in Plano. And for those that are outside of the Dallas Fort Worth area, we host it on Zoom. So there's always a home for everybody. And then we have our big events, our big conventions. This is where it's total immersion of being in the right room with the right people and just learning. You know, you're not going to learn this stuff overnight. If you wanted to be a doctor, can we agree you're going to invest some time in medical school? They don't just give you a scalpel on day one and said, "Go ahead, you're a pro now," right? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. You know, if you wanted to be a lawyer, you're going to go to law school. You're going to invest a lot of time and money in law school to be a great attorney, right? Thank God with ACN, you do not need to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or years of learning. You can learn. Well, I guess you can say, yes, you do invest years in learning because finish never is. But the great thing about this business is it's a simple system. It's not complicated. It's just a matter of willing to learn. And you can be ahead of the curve when you invest in times at the conventions, going to the conventions. When you go to the conventions, you put yourself 6 months ahead of the average person that doesn't. And so we have an upcoming event. Just save the date, everybody. March 13th and 15th weekend in Orlando, Florida, is where we have our big event of all, where ACN, all the vendors, all the trainers, all the speakers fly in for this experience. But as I wrap up here, I just want to close out on some call to action steps. Number one, in a moment, we're going to create some breakout rooms and pair you up with the people that invited you on here. Just let us know what are some services that Jeff just talked about that maybe spoke to you, you might be interested in. Let's help you get promoted. Also, when's the soonest we can help you have your launch meeting, your grand opening, so to speak, so people know you're involved in a new business opportunity and we can help you find customers and business partners. And then lastly, enroll for any upcoming events that we have. And so with that being said, I hope we served you well tonight, and I hope that you got something out of just the excitement of what's to come. You know, I'm from California. I'm a Southern California girl. And in California, you know, there's a lot of surfers there. Jeff and I, we used to live on the beach in Newport Beach, California, literally on the boardwalk. If you opened up our back patio door, it was the Pacific Ocean. And every morning, Jeff and I, we would sit in our patio with a cup of coffee watching the surfers. And there's a saying for surfing, you got to paddle before the wave. You got to paddle before the wave. And there is a massive financial wave about to head ahead of us. I mean, right now it's happening with Impact Health. We have a huge tsunami of customers coming into Impact Health. Impact is having a record breaking season right now for obvious reasons. And we get to ride that momentum into FinTech. So we're paddling before the wave and we're looking for people that want to paddle with us. And so if that's you, welcome to the team. I'm excited to work with you. Let's open up some breakout rooms and continue conversations. So welcome to ACN, everybody.